Well, this is something I've been wanting to make for quite a long time, and some of the reasons I've not been able to make a video like this is because this is a certain person that everybody knows about, everybody talks about, and this specific person has been talked to death to the point to where there's really no need to make a video. But I think now, since a certain situation is currently going on as an ongoing story, I think now is the time that I talk about this. And since you already read the title of the video, you probably know that I'm going to be talking about this person by the name of Christian Weston Chandler, or Christian as he's known for short. And I would take the time to talk about who Christian is, but I'm not going to do that because, as I said earlier, Christian has been talked about so much that there's really no need for me to explain it. So instead, I will be talking about my honest thoughts on Christian and how I heard about him and his recent controversy as of now. Another thing I do want to mention is that I have found out that Christian has just gotten arrested, and I think I know why, but I will get more into that in a minute. To start, the first time I ever heard about Christian was from a video made by a user by the name of JuniorFan89. And this particular video was when he was ranting on people with autism that used it as an excuse for their wrongdoings. And the first person he brought up was Christian. He went into depth on how stupid he acted. And keep in mind, this was the first time I ever heard about him. But when I did, knowing that he had autism, part of me did say, I'm so sorry for this guy since he's autistic, but I didn't know any better. I was a teenager at the time. And this was also when I found out about myself having Asperger's syndrome, and it was hard. I started to become familiar with Christian's misconduct on the internet when my brother showed me a video made by the Blockbuster Critic, where he did these sonic brain fart videos back then. I don't know if he's still active on the internet, but this particular video, or sonic brain fart, that the Blockbuster Critic made showed a lot of bad things Chris did, like when he drew inappropriate pictures of himself with his former friend Megan, when he admitted doing other inappropriate and disgusting and rather disturbing things. And eventually, as time went on, I began to hear about all the horrible things Chris did, like when he was wearing attraction signs on him, when he wanted to find a girlfriend in the worst ways you can imagine. Yeah, and when he got tricked by a lot of trolls and people that make fun of him on the internet. And I do want to say I don't condone trolling or harassment. I know there are ways to deal with that, like simply ignoring them, but unfortunately, Chris never learned to ignore the people that made fun of him. He always responded to them and gave them what he wanted. And as time went on, my sympathy for Christian started to die down till I don't feel sorry for him at all. Well, I kind of feel sorry about his situations with trolls like Blue Spike and the Idea guys. But ever since I started learning about Christian, I began to understand that he is a complete embarrassment to the autism community. His behavior has nothing to do with autism and should not be compared to that at all. It's nothing but retarded nonsense, as I would put it. It's bad enough that groups like Autism Speaks spread around stigmas that autistic people are broken and are better off dead than autistic, which is really disgusting. But Christian stands out as a negative stereotype for the autistic community. It's honestly really disgusting that Chris would actually go as far as to use his own autism as an excuse for his wrongdoings. Like, I'll be honest, when I was in high school, I made choices that I regret and hated doing later on, and All I can say about that now is I've tried ever since then. I tried to move myself away from all that so that I don't make the same mistakes again. But unfortunately, Chris never learns anything. Even while I was in high school, I hoped that there was a chance that maybe Chris could get off the internet and get some therapy and psychiatric help that he needs. Maybe take his Sonichu character, make it into something more original rather than just a mix-up of Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu. But he never did. For 14 years since 2007, Christian has never shown any sign or indication that he will make a change in his life, and the consequences of that are severe. He has let out all of his personal information nobody should even know about. He has hurt other people, like the people at the Too Many Games convention when he kissed them without their permission. And now his worst act yet was probably when he it's even really messed up and disturbing talking about it. But as many of you might have already known, Chris has recently been caught with incest involving his mother. In other words, Chris had sex with his own mother. I was just as shocked and disturbed as many of you might have been when you heard about this. And if you are already familiar with Christian, you'll know he's had a history of making horrible choices both on the internet and in his personal life where we're not even supposed to know about, yet we do. All I can say is I saw this coming. I mean, many of us saw it coming, because I remember when many people made rants on Christian, they predicted that he will rape somebody someday. I'll bet we never knew that it would be his own mother. And I do want to say this. In the past, I have tried to respect people who have transitioned, and I have always told myself that transgendered people are people just like us. There's nothing wrong with being transgendered. But with Chris's case, I will say this. I don't understand why any trans woman would rape somebody. I have tried to respect everybody who decides to transition, but now I've come to the belief that Christian has officially pretended to be trans just so he can get a girl. And if you might know, Chris has had many ways of trying to get a girlfriend, all of which backfired on him. Christian has always been acting creepy in finding a girlfriend, and now he just raped his own mother. And keep in mind, I've only just found out about this, but I have found out that Christian had gotten himself arrested from his mother. I don't exactly know what the charges will be. I am assuming they would have to do with his incest with his mother, because as far as I learned, parents and children having incest with each other is a federal offense. And all I can say is I'm really happy to know that that justice has been served to this 40-year-old man-child who lives in his own world, his own made-up world of Quickville and Sonichu, which is nothing creative because it's nothing but a mix-up of Sonic the Hedgehog and Pikachu, who throws hissy fits over people making fun of him, gives them what they want, does a lot of stupid things, has finally gotten himself arrested for what he did to his mother. And I could not be any more happy that justice has finally been served towards this man-child. And I hope that Chris Chan stays in jail. And I hope he is never welcomed back to his house in Virginia. People like him should not be allowed to walk the face of the earth. It's too late for Chris Chan. Back then, part of me hoped that Chris Chan would get help, but it's too late for that now. Chris Chan has already ruined his life back then, and there's no hope for him. Chris Chan is hopeless. I hope that he gets sentenced to prison so that he doesn't hurt any more innocent beings, including people close to him. And I pray that he stays behind bars. All I can say is that although I don't approve of Barb Chandler, nobody deserves to be sexually assaulted like this, especially by their own children. I just hope that she recovers. Chris Chan is a disgrace to the autism community. He is a 40-year-old man-child who does nothing but act like a little kid. He's the very definition of man-child. And now he's behind bars, and I pray that he stays behind bars. Because people in the autism community and the transgender community deserve better than what this imbecile has done. So, yeah. I'll probably make more videos about this soon, but as soon as we get more updates on what's going to happen, I will make a follow-up, but right now I'm just happy that Chris Chan is behind bars, and I hope and pray that he stays there.